Authorities are scrambling to find the source of the Hammanskraal cholera outbreak. This as tests on water pipelines and sources have all returned negative. In fact, the outbreak has already claimed 15 lives and left many more hospitalized. eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones is in the area to check on interventions to provide people with clean water. He joins us now with the latest. Pule Letshwiti-Jones, we are hearing just the mayor of the city yesterday saying the amount of money that will be needed to fix the problem right now is 2.5 billion rand with a B. You are on the ground. What are you seeing?
Well, a very good morning, William. While government and, of course, the municipality are still scrambling for ideas to try and get resources and try and put an end to the outbreak, there seems to be more problems actually mushrooming on the ground. You understand that yesterday the Deputy Minister of Sanitation and Water, of course, David Mahlobo, had said that they'd open a command center and that they were working on expanding operations and capacity to try and, of course, deal with this illness. But on the ground, nurses are saying they were promised to come to work today, but the message given to them has since been they should not come back to work. So it seems as though there's a bit of miscommunication on the ground in terms of operations. And we heard from Donosa earlier on, the Union for Nurses, who said that capacity is needed urgently to deal with the outbreak in this area. I'm joined now by one of the nurses here. In fact, there's a group of them, but I'm going to speak to the representative who says that they were told to come yesterday. Mama, but what happened?
Early in the morning yesterday, they called for nurses, all kinds of categories to come and sign for as outbreak of cholera and diarrhea. At the end of the day, people were allocated at the same time in other different wards. They work and they allocated the others for night duty, like myself. When I prepare myself to come to work, and then I just get a call, and then a WhatsApp group. On the WhatsApp group, they also say, no, guys, don't go to work because the Jubilee said no one is going to pay you.
So who has said that you must come to work today?
I can say it's one of the official manager, maybe, because we did sign everything to her.
And had they said that they would pay you if you come here and work?
They said they are still going to meeting after we have signed. Yes.
So for now, they haven't told you when they'll come back to you, or they just kept quiet, they said don't come to work?
We're still waiting until now. And since, last night they told us about we mustn't come to work.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how many of the sisters have been affected? How many nurses?
It was a lot. We were too much. Yes.
Mama, how many have been affected so far?
We were too many. Yeah.
So Lilona, same message, said you must come to work, then after that don't come to work.
Yeah. Okay, what happened is who to a clip ne circulator mo di WhatsApp. But botsa hore banyaka manes ko Jubilee. Okay, now we were contract workers again. And then the contractor na kere ne di expire le ka di 31 March. And then it will expire la rana high, and then from there ranwali that thing maybe they will call us. Then as soon as we saw that clip we had to run, and then they must come back, and then then ritile mo Jubilee bo botlhe heri fitla mo bo metron ba tile ba tla ba address kwa ne re ntse ko tenteng kwa ba re address abo metron ne se di contract workers fela ne le ba bang ba ilong horeng ba utlwile hore ho nyake ya manes, then ba tla ba re address ba re botsa hore re tlo letse ya bo botlhe ka tseno again, and then we are going to allocate you. Then they allocated us. Ba re botsa hore ba bang ba tla thoma ho theohela ka tseno, ba bang ba tla tla bushi anke, then batho ba ya ba bereka ke. Then later on, re kry di WhatsApp di circulator hore ba re ska tla mmerekong, and then ba ba theohetseng bona ho tlo irahalang ka bona. Then ra tshwanela go re ska ra ba confused ra se itse hore o irahalang.
So le no a le itse sanse le bereko le ska bereka.
A re itse
Yeah.
a re itse gore o iragalang ka rena mara otherwise the message o buletse gore the contract was not drafted. Yeah.
So na ba re le tlo bereka today.
Yeah, ne re itse le gore ne ba rile re bereke maabane. Akere and then batho ba theohela ba bereka maabane ba bushiu ke bona ba ileng goreng ba ile ba kra message wa gore ba skatla go bereka. Ke mo ile go message wa thomo circulator go ba bang gore le skatla mmereko. So now ka tseno re no re tleng mo re no kopana bo botlhe re boledisaneng re utlweng gore re ka irang maybe re ka ka kwa ra bolela le bona gore ba re botse gore re re bjang because we are frustrated. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Mama. Those are some of the disgruntled nurses. So the issue here is that they were contracted to the hospital before and their contracts ended. Once there was, of course, the issue of the cholera outbreak, they were then asked to come and work through communication in forms of an SMS and WhatsApp by the management here at the hospital. But they since learned that they are now not required, and there hasn't been any formal communication as to whether they will be asked to come work or not. And they've gathered here today wanting answers from the management to find out as to whether the agreement for them to come and work here today still stands. As it is right now, it seems as though management, of course, has not come out to address them. But you would have heard earlier on when I spoke to the secretary of the NERSA, Union for the Nurses, saying that capacity is needed here inside the hospital urgently, particularly to deal with the cholera outbreak. We're still waiting to see as to whether some of these nurses will then be taken in or absorbed into the system to help during this outbreak, because yesterday the ministers, especially the Water and Sanitation Deputy Minister David Mahlobo, did say that they would be beefing up their resources in a form of capacity, ensuring that there are more hands on deck to try and fight the cholera outbreak, which of course is challenging this area of Hammanskraal in the north of Pretoria.
From Pretoria. Just before I let you go, Pule, I mean, obviously on the ground we are hearing from residents that the situation is kind of dire. Some were even asking government officials yesterday that, were you waiting for us to die before you do anything about it? Many of them now hospitalized, and seemingly there isn't enough personnel to deal with the with the patients that are coming in. What have you found?
All right. Yep. Definitely. Look, residents have been frustrated for quite some time, William. This is not an issue that started yesterday or a few months back. It's been years, over decades. In fact, it only started coming under the spotlight around 2018, 2019, when the South African Human Rights Commission began, highlighting the concerns here in the form of their report saying the water was unfit for consumption, based on analysis from the CSIR, of course, a science research institution, to try and see what could have led to the water being unfit for consumption. So frustrations, of course, are still raw on the ground, and residents are worried about whether they should continue to drink the water or bleach the water, because at one stand the municipality said they should bleach and boil the water. At some message, the municipality said that they warned residents not to drink the water here. So there's still that issue of formal communication not being quite clear there, and therefore residents are still in question as to what they should do next. But according to government, they believe that they're doing all they can to try and save more lives. We still wait to see what will happen. We will be speaking to more residents as the day commences, just to get a sense of how they feel and what they're doing next.